Hey everybody, it's Kelly O'Black with this week's Sketch It Out Thursday. I was inspired by this mood board to scrapbook a travel photo, and it's a beach photo, which I was inspired by that bottom left-hand corner kind of picture of the water and a beach, even though it's a rocky beach. And then also the turquoise and then that court color kind of inspired me to use beachy colors of turquoise and kind of beiges and tans in my layout. Here's the sketch. It's from the Sketches in Time blog. It's sketch number 286, just in case you wonder what number that is. So let's get on with the layout. This is a photo of a very close friend of mine and I in Florida in May. And I love the how you can really see the ocean and the kind of beachy colors here. And I was just at a scrapbook store and came across this background paper here by Kaisercraft. It's the Coastal Escape collection, and the paper is called Seagrass. Now, I don't normally scrap really theme oriented, but this paper was just so perfect for this photo, and I knew I had this photo to scrap, so I bought it and I'm going to use it. Now, that sketch has a piece of paper that runs right down the middle of the layout, and I'm going to replicate that with this Kaisercraft Coastal Escape paper called Coral. It's pictures of coral, and because we were shelling and a kind of a thing on the beach, that made sense to me to use that particular piece of paper. And I'm cutting it to 5 inches because the photo is just a little bit wider than 5 inches. We took it with our phone, so it's not a true 4x6. Plus, I also know that at this point, I've got some papers there to the left, to my left hand, and I'm going to use something there. At this point, I don't know whether it's going to be one or multiple layers to mat the photo. First, though, I'm going to take my Tim Holtz Vintage Photo ink, and I'm going to ink the edges of this piece of paper. The colors here are so light and so similar that it really needs something on the edges just to give it a bit of a shadow. So I'm going to do the inking on my paper here, but also on all of my embellishments, and then the matte paper that I end up using as well. You'll see there I have a new mat if you're used to seeing my videos, and I've been thinking about a mat with a graph on it, and I was at Tuesday Morning earlier or last weekend, and they had them on sale for like half off what they normally would cost, and I've been thinking about it so much that I bought it. And one of the reasons besides having a graph is my Heidi Swapp mat was driving me crazy because the die cuts would stick to it, and the die cuts don't stick to this new mat. So I will use my Heidi Swapp mat when I'm doing mixed media and that kind of a thing, but on an everyday basis I don't want to do that. So now I want to replicate some of the elements in that sketch that go across. There's little rectangles of paper that go across that middle strip, and I'm going to replicate that by using die cuts and stickers and embellishments instead. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm looking at my Kaisercraft U-Bud Dreams collectibles, which are what they call their die cuts collectibles. So I'm just kind of pulling out things from the colors and things that might work. I found that little die cut journaling piece there that says happiness is, and that is actually where I'm going to do my journaling. And then I chose that little banner there that says I choose happiness. And then I also found that little arrow up there that I'm going to use as well. And then I see this little circle here, this navy circle here that says perfect day. So that actually perfectly describes how we felt about this particular day. So I'm going to put that up in the top. And I know I'm going to need more embellishing, but first I need to get the mat for the photo figured out. And I'm going to use a piece of paper from Kaisercraft U-Bud Dreams. It's called Citra, and that's just a really nice green color that picks up on a lot of the greeny turquoise in the photo there, in the water, and also in the background paper. So I'll put that down, and then once I do this, I decide that I really like how just that one mat looks, because I was thinking about putting something behind it that was even more turquoise, maybe even approaching something that kind of matches the hat that I'm wearing. But I like how really super beachy and kind of quiet and serene these colors are right now. And I think the fact that I have that bright hat and that bright sky is behind us, that I don't really want to add anything more to it. So now I'm going through, and I had chosen a couple of stickers that I thought might work for layering elements, and that's what I'm doing right now. Those stickers came from the Kaisercraft You Bud Dream sticker sheet. And then I also chose that sticker there from the same sticker sheet that says Laugh. And I'm going to just look at layering these pieces together here. Kind of putting them together, but also moving them around so that I get the right layering effect there. And I'm just being careful. I don't want the bottom of the Laugh sticker to be even with the green line of the Happiness Is sticker. So that's what I was kind of looking at. And then I have some wood veneer phrases here. Those are all from Cosmo Cricut, and they are quite old. I think they're probably at least 3 years old. And I'm going to put them in the 3 different embellishment spots here. The one at the top there says amazing. The one on the bottom says this friendship, which is important because this is a very close friend of mine. And then I'm going to grab one more that says today choose joy. And I really like how that wood element is a different texture on this layout, but also how it kind of echoes the nature feeling of the papers, because we were out in nature. And then also the color, that beigey color of the wood, just works really well with the beachy feeling and the beachy papers here as well. So I started to glue things down, and of course I ran out of my ATG adhesive, so you're now going to see me change that. If you've been thinking about an ATG gun, it's really not that hard to change it, and the more often you do it, the easier it gets. I think I've had my ATG gun for probably 5 years now. It's been quite a while. It might even be 6, but I think it's 5 years. So I'm just going to put that banner down now. And then I'm just going to use the wood veneer to glue down, or the wood veneer, the ATG to glue down the wood veneer. Some people will use their Scotch Tacky Glue or other glues, Multi-Matte Medium and other things. But in this case, I'm just going to use the ATG. And now I'm going to ink that journaling spot because that's a layer for underneath. And then I can kind of get the other 2 layers down as well. And I'm still futzing with that Laugh sticker, but that's okay. It probably didn't need that much fussing, but it got it anyway. And then I realized as I'm doing that I hadn't inked it yet, so I needed to get that done. So being really picky there, but this layout actually didn't take me that long. It took me 29 minutes, and that included the choosing of all the papers and, you know, pulling off some of those embellishments, which you didn't see me do. So that's really not bad at all. Now I want this doily sticker to come off the page a little bit, so I'm just going to drop it down, and I'll come back and I'll pick that up later. All right. Now to the next cluster. So I'm going to work with that arrow now, and that arrow is kind of like looks like kind of wood printed, and I like how that adds another dimension to this layout. It gives you another sort of, it's a faux texture, but it is another texture there. I also like how it brings the bright kind of greeny turquoise from the mat and the Happiness Is back up to the top of the layout so that those colors are all really represented there. Now the laugh isn't quite as dark as that Perfect Day or the blue in the sticker, but that's okay. At least it's another element there. And then I do, it also helps because my friend is wearing a swimming suit it's kind of dark, so that helps kind of bring the darkness into the clusters as well. Her suit happens to be black, or the straps of her suit are black, but that's okay. It's still reading just fine. And now I'm just going to cut off that sticker. That's going to help me kind of figure out, do I need to do any other layering, or how do things look here as I am looking at this. Now I do want some other kind of texture. I was thinking about a title. You see me tapping my fingers there, but I already have so much going on. I think I'm going to leave this, decided to leave this pretty pure and not use a title here. But what I do want to do is there are some stickers on the sheet there that say a couple of different things. So that sticker that I'm working with right now says vacation, and I was going to put that up in the top, or it says adventure, sorry. I was going to put that up, actually it is the other way around. So I was going to put that adventure sticker up in the top, but I decided to put it in the bottom so I can get that bright green that's up in the, or bright turquoise that's up in the arrow down to the bottom, because it's more intense on the adventure sticker. And then I put the vacation sticker up in the top cluster. And that's just, I did it because it didn't have to have another element, but I wanted to use more pieces off of that sticker sheet. You know, otherwise they sit in our stash, right? So I thought there's perfect opportunities where I can add those into this stash. I'm going to do that. Now I want another texture on the layout, and I immediately found these enamel dots from My Mind's Eye, the collectible collection. It's the memorable, if I can only say that word, I'm With enamel dots. And it's this beautiful sandy colored enamel dot, which was perfect. I've had that sheet for a while because collectibles definitely a few years old, and I've never used any of these beige enamel dots, but they're perfect for this. And I will be remembering that as I'm working with these beach photos, because they are going to be perfect. And the cool part is I used 3 of the big enamel dots right away. Normally those are the last ones on my sheet to use, so I was very excited about that. They just seem to work really well in proportion with the rest of this layout. All right, so that is done. Just kind of, again, just toying with, did I want to add a title? And the answer to that is no. I'm going to use Happiness Is from the journaling card. I will do the journaling. You can see it here in the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and we'll be back with another project soon. Bye!